ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning back into yet another episode of eTuesday presented by the Worst Take Network and the MorganMan Sports Podcast. In today's episode of eTuesday, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually doing this on a Sunday, so that way you can go ahead and get the Call of Duty League hype train rolling a few days early before playoffs start this Wednesday. And honestly, it's starting at a great time because I'm off at 2 o'clock and it's going to be amazing. So let's go ahead and build the bracket right here on the podcast, and let's see if we can actually win $100,000. So let's get at it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off the CDL Playoffs 2020, you have the Paris Legion taking on the Seattle Surge. And honestly, guys, I'm taking the Paris Legion already 3-0 in this scenario, and the Seattle Surge is automatically eliminated from contention of Championship Sunday. Your next matchup in the series for Wednesday, you have Optic Gaming taking on the LA Guerrillas. And both teams are looking fantastic, man. I really like these teams, but the better team I think is going to come out at the top is the OGLA squad. I think Guerrillas will have at least one series over Optic Gaming, but still at the end of the day, Optic Gaming is the better team going up against the LA Guerrillas and knocking them out of contention for Championship Sunday. Your next matchup on Thursday is the London Royal Ravens taking on the Toronto Ultra in winners round 1. Really, right now, the Ravens, I don't know what to say about them. Wuskin and all them, something's not clicking with this team right here. But Toronto Ultra, they are definitely coming off a huge victory at their own home series, and I'm taking them right here in a 3-1 scenario over the Ravens. The final matchup for Thursday, you have the New York Subliners taking on the Minnesota Rocker in winners round 1. Rocker, they don't have GodRx, so really this is going to be I think another 3-0 right here. So really we're having a lot of 3-1s to start off elimination round 1 and winners round 1. So it's looking very kind of like right now. So for now, for winners round 2, yes, that's right, Friday, August 21st at 3 p.m. For winners round 2, the Chicago Huntsman kick off today against the New York Subliners. Now, according to my bracket now, where the Huntsman or Subliners will face the Atlanta Faze in winners round 3. Subliners has got the Huntsman's number, but the Huntsmen are really looking good in scrims. And honestly, that does kind of concern me if I'm a Huntsman fan, because they have shown a lot of gameplay in scrims. So if I'm a betting man, I'm taking the Subliners right here to win over the Chicago Huntsmen in a 3-2 fashion. Next up is the Florida Mutineers taking on the Toronto Ultra, where the Toronto Ultra has already beaten the Florida Mutineers. Awakening looks like it's getting called on to with the cheating that everybody is accusing him of, but I don't think it is. I think he has just the strongest IQ of a player, and everybody is just not catching up to it. So, but the Toronto Ultra is still rolling, ladies and gentlemen. But this time around, it's going to be a 3-2 with the Ultra versus the Mutineers. So now for elimination round 2, you have the Minnesota Rocker taking on Optic Gaming LA. I think Optic Gaming is still looking very strong. I think this is going to be a 3-2 right here, Rocker and Optic. Optic did have a little bit of a stretch, will have a little bit of a stretch going up against Minnesota Rocker, but still at the end of the day, Rocker just does not have GodRx, and they're still just not used to this meta. For the final match in elimination in round 2, ladies and gentlemen, you have the London Royal Ravens taking on the Paris Legion. Now, the Ravens, honestly, in my opinion, are a very much more better team than the Paris Legion, so I am taking them 3-0, unlike taking the Legion 3-0 over against the Seattle Surge. So now here we are, the debut of Atlanta Faze in CDL Playoffs. And who are they facing? According to my bracket, it is the New York Subliners, where I'm taking Atlanta Faze in a 3-2. Yes, they are going to a Game 5, ladies and gentlemen, but the New York Subliners will fall to elimination round 4. Dallas Empire taking on the Toronto Ultra. This is the kind of like the rematch of the semifinals of the Toronto home series. And I think Dallas is going to get the number this time. I think Toronto Ultra is going to at least get one series, and that's going to probably be a domination over the Dallas Empire. So now going on to Elimination Round 3, you have the Florida Mutineers taking on Optic Gaming LA Squad. I still think Optic Gaming has a chance right here, but Awakening, I feel like something happened during that last match that he had against the Toronto Ultra. I think something clicked. But I'm still taking Optic Gaming in a 3-2 right here over the Florida Mutineers, eliminating the number 3 seed of CDL playoffs. So it's already off to a crazy start. Chicago Huntsman and the London Royal Ravens. I almost said London. But anyways, the Huntsman versus the Royal Ravens. I'm taking Huntsman right here in a 3-1 over the Ravens. They are going to give them a run for their money, I think, at least in the very first hard point. But then Huntsman comes back dominant style and S&D domination in that second hard point. So now Elimination Round 4, ladies and gentlemen. We have the New York Subliners taking Optic Gaming and Toronto Ultra taking on the Chicago Huntsman in Elimination Round 4. Optic Gaming, man, I love y'all, but you're not enough for the New York Subliners. You almost came close in 3-2 fashion of making it almost to pretty much Championship Sunday. Toronto Ultra taking on the Chicago Huntsman. I think the Huntsmen are going to get the victory right here, ladies and gentlemen. But it's going to be another 3-2 victory right here, but it's for the Huntsman. Now we're into Championship Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, where now we're going to have the winners finals. And that's Atlanta Faze taking on the Dallas Empire. I'm taking Atlanta Faze in a 3-1. Dallas Empire will obviously get the domination over Atlanta Faze because Atlanta Faze still does look a little sloppy at times in domination. So the Atlanta Faze does secure a spot for Championship Sunday, and now they are waiting to see who they face. Is it the New York Subliners? Is it a Chicago Huntsman, or is it the Dallas Empire? We're fixing to go right through that right here. So, the New York Subliners taking on the Chicago Huntsman in Elimination Round 5, according to my bracket right here. So, you're having the rematch from Winners Round 2. Yes, that's right, Winners Round 2. And I don't know. I think the Huntsman has figured out what they are doing wrong against the New York Subliners, and then now they get the 3-2 victory over the Subliners. Now for Elimination Finals, it looks like it's going to happen. It looks like it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get possibly Atlanta Faze versus the Chicago Huntsman, but the Huntsman has got to go through the Dallas Empire first. This is where it gets very, very strange, because the Dallas Empire has beaten the Chicago Huntsman before. But the Chicago Huntsman has also beaten the Dallas Empire before. But now Atlanta Faze has never beat the Chicago Huntsman, even though, despite, only facing them one time, we've never beat them, but we have always beat the Dallas Empire. I think this is going to be a reverse right here. I think the Chicago Huntsmen are going to defeat the Dallas Empire 3-2, just shocking the entire world, or CDL community pretty much, by defeating the Dallas Empire. Crim 6 just goes on a rampage, and Clayster does as well, saying the game is rigged, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to have the Atlanta Faze taking on the Chicago Huntsmen. It is a best of 9, so both teams can be tied 4-4 in the series, but one team has to get that number 5. And I think we're honestly going to go to a Game 9. That there's no question about it. And I think this time around, the Atlanta Faze are going to be the champions. So what's going to happen? Faze is getting on the board first. Chicago Huntsman gets on the board. It's going to go back and forth. 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. You're thinking Faze already. Man, just go ahead and secure it. You got it. But no, Chicago Huntsman get that 4th win. one more game. It has went the distance. And I think Atlanta Faze, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be your CDL 2020 champions, world champions at that, for the Call of Duty League. It has been a very strange road for this team right here. They look like they were going to be eliminated in pretty much brackets to begin with, or groups, I should say, during the season pretty much. But no, they have made it to every final pretty much, or at least every CDL Sunday, but it has been just humiliated. But not this time. The Atlanta Faze goes the distance to a Game 9 with the Chicago Huntsman and defeats them for the prize of CDL champions. So guys, that right there, it's going to be a wild one. It really is. That's going to be a wild CDL Sunday right there. And I'm telling you, I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to get Huntsman versus Faze in Championship Sunday, and where Faze wins this 5-4. So guys, let me know what you think. What's going to happen? Do you think that Faze is going to face Huntsman in Winners Round 3 instead of in the finals? Or do you think any other team, the Dallas Empire, Subliners, or heck, even Toronto Ultra or Optic Gaming, do you think they're going to go the distance and win it all and be the total wildcard team to really kind of be like, wow, they won? Okay. So let me know what you think. I'm interested, and you should be too, because CDL 2020 season is fixing to come to an end, guys. You got pretty much this week right here, and then you got the 29th through the 30th right there. Make sure that is right before I get off of here. So 23. Okay, so yes, so the 29th through the 30th right there, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the final Call of Duty League matches. And right here, I have the perfect podcast for you to listen to all week until Wednesday, when it all really matters. So guys, I sure hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, make sure to like button here on Soundcloud.com, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast from. Ladies and gentlemen, I have added myself to not only Anchor Podcasts, but I've added myself to radio.com. It is the radio app that lets you pretty much play the radio station on your phone. And I've also added myself, ladies and gentlemen, let me find it here, to TuneIn Radio as well. Guys, I'm getting everywhere now. I promise you, I'm getting everywhere. And I want to make myself a podcast where you could come into, enjoy yourself listening to the podcast while you're working out, and leaving satisfied with the content I'm bringing you. And hopefully you're on every network that I'm on. I'm still working on Apple Podcasts, so that way majority of my listeners can start going there for the podcast content. So guys, till then, all right, come working. We'll catch you all later. Peace.